So we're now able to start our lab work under safe pandemic working rule conditions in Michigan. One thing I've done for all my labs is I have a sign that will remind everybody what the maximum potential number of people are in a lab space. Even though this particular lab could have 2 people working distance, we're just going to run 1 person in it as much as possible. And then there's a couple other rooms that we use where we'll have staff in different rooms. Unfortunately, I can separate everybody in space. One thing we knew we're going to do here, when we get in, and then in between the morning and afternoon shift, and then at the end of the afternoon shift, is use 70% alcohol, which we already use in the lab all the time. We'll clean our switches and doorknobs, and also computer keyboards. We'll clean mice, all the surfaces that would get touched on a mouse. We'll do the desk areas. Often the power buttons of computers are areas people forget to do. The power buttons on computers is a good idea. If we're using filing cabinet handles, we'll also try to sterilize our hands as much as possible using things like this nice advanced hand cleaner gel. So the sanitizer, you can see this one has 70% alcohol content in it. That's what you really want. You want that 70% alcohol in there for sure. But we already, when we work in the lab, and what I'll have everybody continue to do, is it's already the case of our work. It's molecular biology. We already use 70% alcohol to wipe a bench area down, do some work at it, put our items away, we wipe it down when we're done. We'll just continue doing that. That's something we already have to do. So that's it's nice. In our particular working style, there's a lot of cleanup and maintaining sterility and preventing cross-contamination that's already kind of part of our everyday lab work. So we'll continue that, but we'll extend it to working surfaces that are more office working surfaces. And that's how we will keep surface contamination low. Also, when we do lab work, not when we're at the desk areas, but when we're at lab equipment of any kind, using centrifuges, using any of this equipment, going to our supply, fridge and freezers, touching anything that has to do with lab work or even storage of chemicals and resources, it's already the process in this lab that you have to have gloves on when you start doing that work. And so we store our gloves. Everybody's now has one of these. I already provided a cloth mask to me and all of my staff, even before the shutdown in Michigan, courtesy of Tracy, my wife, who sewed us masks. And so if we do have to have a discussion with somebody over 6 foot away in the hallway, a colleague, we can have a distance face-to-face discussion with our masks on. But basically, that's how you can kind of just very basically control. And if you obtain, some people will have spray bottles. We tend to use a squirt bottle. I like to squirt an actual cloth, and I can control more accurately the amount of 70% alcohol I put on a surface that I want to sterilize. So this is just some of the practical parts of working in the time of COVID-19 safely in the lab, with distancing, face masks, watching contact with others, and then cleaning surfaces so that we don't spread contamination should we be asymptomatic and not realize it.